see you. Let me get your name here.
Samantha.
Samantha?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Samantha, I don't think you've joined me before in one of these sessions. Basically, we're just going to describe the picture. It's just a chance to use your speaking skills to get a little practice. And it looks like he's having some trouble joining, so we'll go ahead and wait. Manish, go ahead and start, because I'm not sure if he's fully connected yet or not, so go ahead and start.
Okay. So the picture looks beautiful, and there are two horses, and left side. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah. So the left side of the picture look like the stable up for the horses, and the home means in the center of the pictures look like the owner house. And
Okay, tell me
yeah.
again, there's two things that I just missed, so I want you to repeat it so I can get what you said, because you mentioned it's beautiful and there's two horses. You said something for the horses. Remember what you
And,
said?
but the horses means the horses are means it look like late morning, so the horses are just having their feet. I think.
Okay, all right. Go ahead and continue. I just wanted to see what it was you had said because I missed it. Go ahead.
Okay. And the left side of the pictures look like the stable for the horses, and at the center look like the owner's house. There. And there are fencing for the horses so that the horses could not escape from the owner's reach. Yeah. What next?
Okay, are you done? Or did you want to add
Yeah.
some more? Okay. Okay. That last sentence was nice. It was really easy to understand that. I'm going to mention one word. You mentioned that there's a stable. It looked like there was a stable there for the horses. On that word stable, it took me a minute to understand what you were saying. I understood from the context that because I'm looking at the picture, you might want to practice that word because you lost the vowel there in the middle. So spend a little more time on working on pronouncing the vowels. And that's going to make it very understandable. That's the only thing. And that's very common from where you're at, is to lose the vowels a little bit and to emphasize the consonants. Um, so if you practice that, it's going to be a lot better. But your speaking was slow enough. And again, when you got down to the last part, you talked about the fencing for the horses so the horses can't escape. Um, that was very understandable. It was no problem there. So nice job. Very nice. Hello, Mohammed. And excuse me. And Samantha.
Yes.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Hi, hi,
I, I
everybody. Yes.
I know you were having trouble last time, and I'm glad you
Hmm?
made it early this time.
Yes, yes, it was a trouble. Now it's okay. It was previously. Last time,
Good.
actually, I was pretty new. Now it's okay.
Good.
So I was just listening whatever your conversation between you and Manish. Okay,
Yes.
but it's pretty good, you know. So if you want, I can start. I'll take little
Absolutely.
time from you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Go ahead and describe the
Yeah.
picture, and we'll go from
Okay.
there.
Uh, yeah, the picture depicts that it's a sunny weather in a countryside, and it's all green. And there are one houses have been surrounded with trees and bushes, and just a moment, I have to see the picture. Yeah. And there are two big horses. They are grazing in the field. It's a sunny weather, and I think there is another. Is it a stable? I think the owner of the horse was planning to is planning to make a stable for them, or maybe another house, uh, and it's all covered by fences, so that horse cannot go out and can be put inside the fences, and it seems that there are few tools also lying to that going to use by the engineers, all the homemakers to fix the wooden planks for the stable or the home, and and the color of that another house beside that um, constructing home is red color, red tiles there, I believe, and there is I think a chimney on the inside the on the top of the house. It's a wooden house, I hope so. And another one, there is a small room which seems to appear in between the two homes. Oh, I think it's, is it your electrical something, or I
Hmm.
don't know exactly. And there are one pole, we can find, is it I think for a electrical pole standing on the in front of that, I mean white and red house. Okay, and that's and the glass and the windows are all your I mean made up of glasses. Okay, and that's and what else we can say? That's it. I think so. I mean, whatever I think the picture depicts, I think these are the depicts. You can rectify me. What are the areas I did wrong?
No, no, that was great. That was very nice. I'm going to
In
mention.
ad,
Go ahead.
in addition, you can also help us to put in something which I missed out, or which I can you can better help us to develop.
Yeah, don't worry. I will. I'll do my best to supplement what you guys have said as well. First, I'm going to mention, and hello, Sue. Everybody that's Sue, and she's been a friend since I started here. It's nice to see you again. And anyway, Samantha, I like that you mentioned the countryside. You can also say this house is in the country. You mentioned two big horses, and you said field. It kind of came out more like feld, but if you use like a long E sound, field, this is how we would say it
Okay.
more natively. Okay, you mentioned the horses in the stable, um, wooden planks. I'm trying to think that those are probably 2x4s, is what wooden planks, but that's because of the size of those planks. I'm trying to think of another
Cindy, could
word.
you, I mean, excuse me, could you please be a little louder? I cannot hear exact words what you are saying.
Sure,
Little
sure.
louder. Yeah,
Okay, thanks
yeah,
for letting me know. Okay. Um,
yeah.
yeah, I'm trying to think that the board lumber that's up there, you call them wooden planks. Um, we would say 2x4s, but that has to do with the size. They're about 2 inches by 4 inches. A little bit less, but that's what we call them. There's also 2x6, 2x12. So you'll hear those terms a lot when referring to board foot lumber, which we call it foot lumber because it's the length that's measured out by the feet. Um, we mentioned a little house here in front. I'm
Okay.
kind of guessing that's some kind of a shed. It could be a tack shed to hold the equipment for the horses.
Yeah.
It could be a water house if we have a pump, maybe in a well or something. But otherwise, we would just say shed, which is an
Mhm.
easy term. You mentioned the chimney, and it took me a minute because I had trouble understanding what you said. So you might slow down on that word just a little bit because you're speaking this a little fast, but you did a pretty good job pronouncing everything. The chimney was a little bit hard, and um, I noticed you mentioned the wooden and that W sound. I know is really difficult, and you did a nice job making the word clear, even though I could see that you were struggling with the W sound. Um,
Okay.
and then you said the windows were made up of glasses. We would just say there's glass windows, is how we would say it. There's nothing wrong with saying windows are made up of glass, except that what I'm going to mention is Russ natives wear glasses in the fall season.
Okay.
The first thing we think of is wear on our face to help us see. In other terms, spectacles, we don't use that word typically. We know it, but we don't use it. So we would say the windows are made up of glass, or made of glass. But again, there's really nothing wrong with saying it's made up of glasses. We still understand what you're saying. I'm just letting you know how we would say it as a native speaker. And that doesn't mean that it's not going to be different in the UK. It could be. So Excuse me. That's what I'm going to mention. And
Okay.
before I add a few words, I'm going to have Sue here is ready. And
One thing, Cindy, I mean, there is a small, what you are discussing. There, sorry to interrupt you. There is a small, I think that that room is there. Is it a a electrical room or something? I don't know. I mean, if you can highlight this one, maybe I have highlighted little, but
sure. Are you talking about the little red building right there in the middle?
Cindy, you have to. I cannot hear you properly. Sorry, I'm extremely sorry. But if you can put your microphone in front of your mouth, sorry. At least I want to hear. Yeah, because whatever the words which you're going to use, that might be beneficial for me. Yeah. Sorry once again. Yeah, carry on.
That's okay. That's okay. Can you hear me better now? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. You can carry on. Yes.
Okay. Are you talking about the thing that's right behind are you talking about the red building in the middle of the picture?
Yes. Now it's pretty good. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we just fixed the mic.
Okay.
Hold on one second here. Okay. So, yeah, that's the shed that I was talking about.
Okay.
And let me put that word up here just so we're clear.
That's a shed. Yes. That's pretty
Shed.
good. Yes.
So that's just
It's
a
a
real
shed. Yeah.
common, you can have tack sheds, tool sheds, electrical shed,
Correct.
anything that's away from the
Right.
house, it's freestanding, usually
Right.
it's not too big. What they're building in the back, I'm not sure, could be a barn. The fact that it has glass windows going in tells me that it might be a house or a tack shed, maybe with the barn attached. It's really hard to tell.
Okay.
Does that clarify that up on the shed, though?
Correct. I understand. I mean, the best word,
Sure.
the perfect word will be shed. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. So, Sue, are you able to speak today, Sue? I know sometimes you've got the internet issues, and the business and
No.
all that. No, I'm looking at Sue here. Sue, did
Oh,
you want
sure,
to
sure.
say
Yeah,
hi?
yeah.
Yeah. Hello, Cindy. How are you?
I'm
I'm not
good.
sure that you can. Yeah, okay, you can hear me
Yes, I can hear
clearly.
you just fine. Go right ahead.
Okay. First of all, I can see uh, two horses. They are incredible. I really love them. They are eating grass or maybe, yeah, grass. It's grass. It's not leaves. Some of this grass is dried and the other is green. I can see small yellow flowers here on the right corner. Maybe they are yellow flowers. Uh, Back to those two horses, I really love them. They are charming. They are so beautiful. As this animal, I think, in my opinion, it's the most beautiful animal on this planet. I love the black tail here. It's moving, maybe of the wind or the horse itself is moving it. I think this is a farm. I love those wood around those two horses. I can see also three buildings. One is too small, and the other two houses are bigger than that one. On the right, I can see a white big house with a chimney with an orange bricks on it. I love the roof. I can see a lot of trees around this building or house with small windows. It's white in front of. with orange brick roof. I love those trees around the house. It looks that this house is surrounded by nature. The other house isn't completed. I think the roof, they are working on the roof. It is quite that it's clearly it's still open. Maybe they are going to put some bricks on it or not. I'm not sure about that. But I love this place so much. I think that this is the nature itself, and it's nice to live here. I think that air here is so clean and so fresh. It's not dirty like the living in cities, in smoke. I don't think that here we can um, uh, find pollution. Uh, I can see a small orange thing. I don't know, is it a pump for water or not? I'm not sure about that. So it's nice to live here in this place. I think sky looked here clear. It's blue, but I loved the whole picture, especially those two horses. They are incredible. I really love them. Love the color of them, the tail, because I have got black hair and this tail is black, so I love that so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sue. um, and Sue knows me well enough to know I agree with her on the horses. One of my favorite animals as well. And I like the word that she used here, charming. That is one word that we could use to describe this picture. Let's see, you mentioned the buildings, and the one that you said was too small, that's the one we were referring to as a shed. You talked about the trees and the orange on top, the orange roof up here. And from what I can tell, it's probably what we would call a tile roof. Another word, if they're wooden tiles, they would actually be what we call shingles. Or sometimes if it's a certain kind of a tar that has rocks on it, those can also be shingles. Shingles are going to be something that are going to be in squares or rectangles that they lay in layers. So that would be what we refer to as shingles, a shingled roof. But again, I think it's really kind of hard for me to tell. My eyesight's not as good for that fine detail, but I want to say, because of what I see at the top, it could be tile, but the rest of it.
Tile. Yeah, Sindee, what you said, tile roof, yeah, suits pretty well.
Tile.
With it.
Yeah,
Tile
it
roofs.
looks like it, except that on the edge,
Yes.
if you look at the far edge, it doesn't have enough texture for that. So it could be shingles, red shingles. So it'll be interesting if someone can get in there close enough to tell. But yeah, go ahead.
Another 2 points Sue mentioned, that is, it's very, with noise free and pollution free. That's, two addition, we can have, collocations, noise pollution. That's pretty good. That I have missed out here. What I feel is, she has added very nice.
Yes,
because collocations help to add much more, meaning.
Okay, and we lost him, but I'll go ahead and continue. Sue, on the house there, we're mentioning, and Sue, can you let me know if you can still hear me, because all of a sudden it went dead. I want to make sure it's not me.
Yeah, it's okay, Cindy. I hear you.
Thanks.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, anyway, the house, we would say this house is under construction, or this building is under construction, which means that they're in the process of working on it. That's just the phrase that we would use, but again, what you said was fine. I like that you noticed that the sky is clear, and we would say it's a blue sky, it's a clear sky, it's a clear blue sky. Any of those combinations work just fine, and it was nice that you noticed that. And of course, no smog, no pollution. Now the orange thing sitting in the background that you noticed right above the horse's withers there, in the background of the picture, is a cement cement mixer, if I can get the words out here. And I think that's about all I had to add on that. Everything else was good. I've got a few things that I'll mention at the end, but on the tail, we would say the horse is swishing its tail, or we might say that it's flicking its tail at flies. And that's one of the biggest uses of the of the horse's tail, is to get rid of those. Sometimes you'll see horses standing head to tail with each other, and that's so that as they stand out in the field taking a nap on their feet, which they do sometimes, they'll also flick the flies, and it flicks it away from themselves and the other horse. And if they stand head to tail with each other, then each tail gets ahead as well, so they can be more comfortable without the fly problem. Let's see. And you also mentioned the color of the horses, and the color there and their coat. Well, first we'd say it was shiny, and by the coat I would say, and the length of the coat, and because it's nice and shiny right now, I'd say this is a summer picture, or possibly spring, but I'd say summer just because all of the hair, the winter coat is off unless someone has groomed it off. And P-R-O-N-Z. Sue, speak up and tell me, what are we asking here? I don't recognize what you're saying. Yeah.
Can you say about the color of these two horses?
Bronze. Yeah, actually, no,
Yeah.
actually, I said
I
brown.
love this color so much, but or red.
Yeah, what I'm going to tell
Yeah.
you is here's the horse term. The people that are horse people, this is the term that they would use for these two horses, and I'll tell you why. The term is bay. Both of these are bay horses. That's just a color designation, has nothing to do with the breed. And when you have a horse that has a mane and tail that is darker than the coat color, like either a darker brown or black, and we're talking only these brown horses, then we call them a bay. If the mane and tail are the same color or lighter, then they're going to be called a chestnut. Hold on, I'm spelling it here. That would be a chestnut coat color. In this case, the horses also have black legs, which is also common of a bay. We do have a color called brown in the horse world, but a lot of people, especially non-horse people, mistake it for black. And sometimes we'll say brown, and you're thinking, okay, why is that horse being called brown? Because if you get up close, it really is just a very dark brown, but a brown horse actually looks rather black. But you can tell by the muzzle and some other areas of the body, like behind elbows and things like that, where the coat lightens. Yeah, yeah. A true black will have black skin. It'll be black all the way through their muzzle. There won't be any light colored areas like between the legs and things like that. So that'll be the difference there. But when you see this brown color, then it's going to be either a bay or a chestnut. There's some other things like roans and stuff, but that gets a little more complicated. Sue, your mic is off. Do you have something to say? Did you want to add something?
No, it's okay, Sindee. Thank you so much. Thank you for the feedback.
Yeah. Okay. So that's that discussion, and now let me try this here. Abdul, I'm going to have to say it with the English A. I apologize. Abdul Alim. Can you take your mic off? Did you want to take a turn at this picture?
It's okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
First, for my name, you can say the short, the nickname for me, it's Abdo, A-B-D-O. It's easier for you because every time you have this issue.
No, I know. I'm working on that Ein sound, but it hasn't come through yet.
Abdo is easier and it's very famous in Arabic names.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, it is. We've heard that name quite a bit over here too. So thank you for your patience and your tolerance.
You're welcome.
Okay, so go ahead. Did you want to take a turn?
Actually, it's not easy to talk after
Okay.
the full description that Sue have made, but I can say that we can see a very nice picture full of nature and full of enjoyment. You can feel the nature and oxygen and the sounds. I can imagine that there is a lot of birds and you can hear the sounds. And also when the wind come with the trees, you can hear the voice of the leaves. And what we can see is, as Sue said, the two horses, a couple of horses that are eating the grass. And we can see in the background two houses. One is looks like there are it's people are living in this house, and the other one is under construction. What else we can say that this is a part of a farm maybe, and people who are living in the city like me, we always envy these people for the part of the life. But actually, one of my friends have said before, what we always see in the photos is 1 second, but the life in these farms are not that easy as you think, because you have to do a lot of job. You have to put the food for the horses and make cleaning and a lot of things. So it's always have a very nice look, but it's not as we think just a romantic view. It's full of life with everything. But we can say one conclusion: it's better than living in the city for your health and for your eyes also to see this nice looking pictures, nice looking view. Uh, that's all what I can say.
That was nice. I like that you gave a different viewpoint of all of this, and gave us a different perspective. And that was really nice that you did that. I like that you brought in the enjoyment of being able to live out in the country. You talked about the sounds and the feel, which, with the wind, the voice of the leaves. That was a nice way of putting that. Voice of the leaves. We might say you hear the sound of the leaves, but you also talked about it being kind of a romantic view. And by adding that word "voice of the leaves," that's a very colorful way of saying that, and it really gives a nice feel to what you're saying. So that was nicely done. Let's see, you talked about a couple horses, two horses. Good use of that interchangeable word there. You mentioned it's part of a farm, and you said it's, to our ears, it sounded like form. And so I'm just going to say it one more time. It's farm. And if you just get the jaw open, that's going to come out real nice. But I could understand what you were saying, so no big deal. I was thinking of the words peace and tranquility when you were speaking, just because of the way that you were presenting the information. So that's another thing you could use to describe it. That's just my thinking on the perspective that you were giving. And you actually do very well with your speaking, your sentence structure. There was a couple things here. You mentioned what else we can say. When you say it like that, that's a statement. And usually if we're thinking and we want to see what else we can add to this, we would say, what else can I say, or can we say? Then it becomes a question. And then also you said do a lot of job, which I understand what you mean, and technically it's correct. As a native speaker, we would say that you have to do a lot of work. And having lived in the country, I can tell you that yes, it is, and a lot of people can't handle it. It really is a lot of work. I watched a lot of people move to the country and then move right back out because they look at pictures like this, like you mentioned, and they see that, oh, this is really cool, this is beautiful, and then when they actually encounter it, it's more than they want to deal with. Because there's a lot of things that people don't consider when they're living in the country. So that was nice that you had that piece of information to add to this discussion. So this was all very nicely done. I don't really have anything more for you, so thank you very much for that. Okay, since we don't have anyone else, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add just a few things. Let's see if there's anything that I didn't say. Okay, so sometimes when we have horses in an enclosure, if it's a very small enclosure like you get at some boarding stables, excuse me one second. Okay, we might call it a pen or a stall. Pen is very, very general. You can have a dog kennel might be referred to as a pen. We even have baby pens, play pens for babies. So a pen is just any kind of small enclosure. A stall, you will hear people out in the Southwest that will refer to a small enclosure, say a 12-foot by 12-foot, maybe a little larger, maybe twice that size, maybe less. They'll refer to it as a stall. People in the East where it snows a lot, to them a stall is inside a barn. And the people in the Southwest, of course, will use that for stall as well. That's more technical, but sometimes they will use it for an outside because their weather is better and they don't all have barns like they do in the East. So in the hotter regions of America, you're going to find a little bit different. The term is the same, it's just applied differently sometimes. Let's see, there was another one. Okay, paddock, which is another like an exercise area for the horse. Sometimes they'll turn the horse out. A pasture, usually a pasture means that it has grazing. It has grass in it. If you're in the Southwest again, like where I'm from, and for those of you that don't know, I'm from Southern California and Arizona. And out there, we have a lot of dirt. And so someone might use the word for pasture, but it's typically used for an area where the horse has enough land that it can graze on grass or something like that. A place where you enclose the horse is going to be a corral, like usually that's connected to a barn, and it's a little bit larger area where you can turn them out and they can get some exercise. Samantha, if you can go ahead and mute your mic, it'll cut down on the background noise for people
Yes.
while we're in the session. Yeah, just go ahead and mute your mic. Okay.
Yes.
And then, okay, and so corral is another one. And again, that's going to be I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought here. Something attached to a barn, and they can let the horse out of the stall for the day, and then they usually put the horse back in. Arena is going to be the area that they usually work the horse in, like if they're training or just letting the horse out to kick up its heels for a little bit. You'll see the word arena. We have some different types of fencing on here. There's some split rail fencing. That's the wooden one. It just means they've split. Actually, that's board fencing. I apologize. I just took another look. And I can see the horses have been chewing on it. We call that cribbing. And the fencing in front, it looks like it's a wire tape. How do I say this? It's electrified and it keeps the horses away from it, but you only want to use that in larger pens. Sometimes there's barbed wire. You'll see that mostly with cows, but because horses will get tangled in it and really injure themselves. Other times you'll see twisted wire. pipe corrals, fencing. There's all kinds of different things that we'll use for the horses. Stable and barn, you guys have already talked about. Let's see. Trying to see if there's anything else that I can really add, but it looks, we talked about the colors of the houses, and I would call this some kind of wooden siding. Siding can include a lot of different types of materials. There's vinyl siding, wooden siding. If it's brick, we wouldn't call it siding. Siding would be something that's usually wooden or something that looks like wood that we put up on the side of the house. Right above the window on that barn that's under construction, it looks like there's a piece of corrugated steel. Red. Might be corrugated fiberglass, but it's probably steel. That's pretty common to find out on horse ranches. And I think, no, Samantha, I can't hear you. So if you're talking, I can't hear you. I cannot hear you. Does anyone else? Can everyone else hear me? Okay, thank you. And no, Samantha, I can't hear you. Yes, Sue. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop this broadcast here.